In the remote wilderness of northern Canada, shrouded by ancient forests and forgotten by time, there stands a house unlike any other, known to the locals as the Eternal Dwelling. This grand Victorian mansion has long been the subject of chilling tales and whispered legends, its dark and twisted history a magnet for thrill-seekers and ghost hunters alike. The story of the Eternal Dwelling begins over a century ago, when it was built by the wealthy Tremont family. The Tremonts were a reclusive bunch, rarely seen by the townsfolk of the nearby settlement of Willow Creek. Rumors swirled around them, tales of dark rituals and forbidden knowledge passed down through the generations. One fateful night, the Tremont family vanished without a trace, leaving behind a house frozen in time. The townsfolk spoke of strange lights and eerie sounds emanating from the mansion, and soon stories of hauntings and ghostly apparitions began to spread. As the years passed, the Eternal Dwelling became a place of dread, its once grand halls falling into disrepair as nature reclaimed the land around it. Despite its dilapidated state, the house remained strangely intact, as if frozen in time along with its inhabitants. Over the years, countless brave souls ventured into the Eternal Dwelling, drawn by the allure of its dark history and the promise of supernatural encounters. Many never returned, their fates unknown, their voices forever silenced by the malevolent forces that dwelt within the house's walls. Among those who dared to enter the Eternal Dwelling was a young couple, Sarah and Michael, amateur ghost hunters with a passion for the supernatural. They had heard the stories of the house and were determined to uncover the truth behind its haunting. One crisp autumn evening, Sarah and Michael set out for the Eternal Dwelling, their hearts pounding with excitement and fear. As they approached the house, a sense of foreboding washed over them, but they pressed on, eager to explore its mysteries. The front door creaked open with a deafening groan, and Sarah and Michael stepped into the darkness within. The air was thick with dust and the smell of decay, and they could hear the sound of their own footsteps echoing through the empty halls. They began their exploration of the house, their flashlight beams cutting through the darkness like knives. Room after room they searched, finding nothing but decay and ruin. But as they descended into the basement, they felt a change in the air, a heaviness that seemed to press down upon them. It was there, in the depths of the basement, that they found it a hidden chamber, sealed off from the rest of the house. Intrigued, they forced open the door and stepped inside, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. The chamber was unlike anything they had ever seen. The walls were lined with strange symbols and sigils, and in the center of the room stood a stone altar, covered in dried blood. As they explored further, they discovered a journal, its pages yellowed with age but still legible. It belonged to Elias Tremont, the patriarch of the Tremont family, and detailed his descent into madness as he sought to unlock the secrets of the universe. Sarah and Michael were transfixed by the journal, unable to tear their eyes away from its pages. But as they read on, they felt a presence in the room with them, a malevolent force that seemed to seep from the very walls themselves. Suddenly, the door to the chamber slammed shut, and Sarah and Michael were plunged into darkness. They fumbled for their flashlight, but it was no use. The darkness was absolute, and they could hear the sound of something moving in the shadows. Panic set in as they realized they were not alone. The ghosts of the Tremont family were with them, their ethereal forms swirling around the room in a frenzy of rage and despair. Sarah and Michael tried to run, but the walls of the chamber seemed to close in around them, trapping them in a nightmare of their own making. They could feel the cold touch of the ghosts upon their skin and hear their anguished cries echoing in their ears. Just when all hope seemed lost, a faint light appeared in the darkness. It grew brighter and brighter until it filled the room, banishing the ghosts and revealing the true nature of the Eternal Dwelling. The house was a gateway, a portal to another realm where time held no sway and the dead walked among the living. Sarah and Michael had stumbled upon its secrets, and now they were trapped, destined to roam its halls for eternity. As the light engulfed them, Sarah and Michael realized the true horror of the Eternal Dwelling. It was not just a haunted house, it was a prison, a place of torment for those who dared to seek its secrets. And so, the legend of the eternal dwelling grew, its dark history forever etched into the fabric of the Canadian wilderness. Those who hear its tale are warned to stay away, lest they too become lost in its haunted halls, never to return. For more scary and horror stories, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.